Thank you, Matt. I'm Mehdad, the founder of Nuanano. I'm going to present a novel process for mass production of the graphene we called SUPEX. And I'm pretty sure you know about the graphene. I think the time is the start, yeah, Matt?
Yep, graphene is good.
Yeah, graphene is a wonderful material of the 21st century. And it is the thinnest material, most strong material, 200 times stronger than the steel, very flexible, superconductive, more than the copper, and for the electrical is conductive for the insulation, for the thermal as well. And this unique property of the graphene gives a big opportunity to use for advanced technology, same as energy and battery in the lithium-ion battery, in the composite, in the polymer or in the inorganic system, same as the concrete. For example, for the concrete, it decreased 30% CO2 emission. And for the coating, for the smart painting, as well for anti-scratch and anti-UV material. There's a big market of the graphene for this technology. But you can't see the graphene more in industry right now. What is the reason of that system? The reason of we can't see the graphene more in the industry right now because of the limitation of the mass production of the graphene with a high quality mass production of the graphene with low operating cost. And this operating cost is high and is not green and because it's a cost to the high value of the graphene in the market. Right now, the graphene in the market, the lowest cost is around 200 pounds per kilogram up to 12,000 pounds just for the powder. The main challenges for the production of the graphene is based on the time-consuming process. The most process is chemical process, and it's more than 2 days working on that system. They use a hazardous material and poisoning material, same as a strong acid, sulfuric acid, chloric acid, NMP, DMSO. They are very poisoning material. They have two effects. One on the safety of the system with the complicated control of the system. Another item is regarding the waste treatment of that system is add the value to operating cost. Another problem about the current process in the market, in the industry, is about a multi-step process, is including the oxidation, reduction, heating, cooling, separation, filtration, waste management. Every process we add to the system, we need the energy consumption. Energy consumption is going up, and we have an operating cost going up. Another problem is about the low yield of the production of the graphene from the graphite as a raw material.
2-minute warning.
This item altogether increase the production cost. Our solution is a very simple way, just based on the one reactor. And I developed based on my 16 years working in the nanomaterial and the oil and gas and battery sector. We use just CO2, just recycle that system. And we have a PC patent based on that system, secure the system. This is very a fast process, less than 4 hours, and we can increase the scale of the system up to 300 kilograms. We have right now the prototype of 2 kilograms is included, is the same as the semi-pilot production with a net value of the 80%. It's green process and high quality as well. Right now, the key point of the graphene is mass production with high quality. Right now, we have 2 kilograms here. The competitor of us for that quality is for 1 kilogram. And we are going to reach the 25 kilograms, is a pilot scale. And based on that, we are using this fund and this round for £1 million for that system to use for the engagement with the potential customer and market and to reduce the operating cost. After this stage, we reach 300 kilograms, is based on one reactor and is commercial state. And in one big system, we have 8 tons at that system. And here is regarding the comparison with the energy consumption. The requirement for chemical is 265, but for the green process we have is 4 kilowatt. Is a fraction of that system. Most operating cost is based on the energy, and the ability of the system to mass production for the chemical is high, but the energy consumption is high. But for system, the ability of mass production is high with low energy cost. This gives us the net profit margin of 85% of the system. And just the team should be me, Professor Peter Dabson as advisory board, and 2% Dr. Simpson, who is a co-founder of some company in Oxygreen in Oxford, and Dr. Amir as well for the co-founder of the Persica. And I received this item, and Peter is one person famous in the world regarding nanomaterial, and the founder of 3 company and the head of the science park of the Oxford University. Thank you.
Time is up.
Thank you.
Awesome, Mirdad. Thanks for presenting.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't too technical for anybody.
Yeah.
It's a little deep for me. What's the current cost for buying commodity or just market pricing on graphene these days?
The graphene price is based on the quality. It's very broad range. The lowest is around 200 pounds per kilogram, but we have some code is around 12,000 pounds per kilogram as well. So it's based on the quality. Is very important. What is that? And the low quality is something similar to graphite. That is not graphene. It's a graphite, but they sell as a graphene.
When something seems like a silver bullet or a all perfect solution, it sometimes is too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. What's the downside? What are we missing?
For what? The missing of what?
Well, just when something sounds too good to be true, there's usually something to find. I'm trying to figure out what that something is.
Yeah, if you want to throw that one, for the we need to just characterization of the graphene. There is an ISO for the graphene to see what is graphene, what is not. They issued by the ISO company in 2021, March last year, and based on characterization we have done, it shows there is a graphene.
Not sure I totally got. What do you see as the biggest risk in the business? Let's just.
The biggest risk of the business is lack of the fund in the right time is a big concern. The second should be the long processing of the achieve to the market, to the engagement with potential market.
Speaking of, you seem very technical. How do you plan on selling this into industry?
Based on this fundraising, when we receive the fund, we are starting to negotiate with the target company, especially in the battery material, lithium-ion battery, same as the LG or Hitachi. I had some connection with the some company in China, the big company for lithium-ion battery, and they are using right now the graphene based on the lead-acid batteries, and they are very willing for this material. And based on the engagement with them, and send the customized product for them, give the feedback up to 1 year. In the same time, we're reaching to 25 kilogram to reduce the low cost. After 6 months, after 12 months, we have the plan. We have a first customer and first sell of the system, sell of the product.
And that's when you do a seed round or something larger?
Yeah, right now, after that, the program is, our plan is around 15 months to 18 months for this round, and that is for £1 million. And after that, we are looking for around £6 million for 24 months to reach a small plant with just 1 reactor. Okay. The system needs just very small space. The capital cost is not too much.
Mathias, Aaron?
Well, I can give it a go. To be completely transparent, this is definitely outside my area of comfort. So apologies if some naive questions come along. But yeah, when you present it, it's hard to see that this is actually a true venture case. I mean, how is an investor going to realize 20x or more on the initial investment? It seems the only way to scale this business is to build more bioreactors or reactors for the process itself. So how are you going to make room for an exit here for an investment?
My background is from the MSc or BSc is chemical engineer, and then go to the nanomaterial, advanced material, and 6 years in that area. And my specialty is design of the reactor. This design is based on 16 years work on that system. The reactor is very small, not big, and there's no chemical use; it's a physical. So this is a value of the process. We can have, for example, for CVD is the method for production graphene high quality, but the capital cost is too much, and the ability of the production, mass production, is low as well.
I don't know if you answered totally what Mathias was saying, but they're doing $3 million per reactor per day Mathias, in revenue based off of the numbers he said. That's how it might be venture scale.
Okay, but so we're talking about like a dividend case here, where the return is going to come through cash distributions, or how should I understand it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can. I've got a few questions. So I guess my first one is are you positioning as a greener way to produce graphene or a lower cost way of producing?
The green is for two sections, one for the production, one for application. For production, the energy consumption of the system is fraction of the other item. So the CO2 emission is low. Another item for the green is regarding the process. We don't produce the waste, hazardous waste to the environment. It's first from the process. From the application for example, for the concrete, they reduce 30% of the CO2 emission. For the lithium-ion battery is a green energy for that system, and increase around 20% performance of the lithium-ion battery based on my experience in the battery sector with the graphene.
Right. And is there a inherent market pull from industry to have graphene produced in a greener way? Because most of the sort of industrial, the big corporates we speak to, they tend to really prioritize functionality over having green. Green is a nice to have, but it's not a must have. So do you see from a governmental level or regulatory level, it coming through, or is there an inherent pull from the market?
For the green type, just as a process, there's a CVD is something sometimes using the plasma is a green system, but it's very expensive system. But regarding functionalization of the graphene is another method. We can use a type of the CFD plasma to functionalize that graphene and to use in the industry. But the functionality of the graphene is much, much expensive than the powder as well. We are going during that process 1 year with some chemical, we functionalize that graphene as well.
Okay, right. And lastly, you said you've been working on this technology for 10 years. Was that been at a academic institution or university?
Just 2005, I started my PhD regarding nanomaterial. 2009 finished, and after that worked 3 years working in oil and gas and the nanotechnology in that system. I worked at the University of Southampton for 6 years as a postdoc research fellow just to developing the reactor for the next generation of nanomaterial for them. And after that, in the battery sector, I developed the reactors. And all here, I work as a research scientist in the lab, as an engineer developer in the pilot plant, as a designer of the refinery, I mean this equipment as a senior process engineer. So I know what is the problem and bottleneck between the lab scale and the bigger scale. And I conduct the scale up as well. For example, for my last company.
Okay, great. I mean, just the main reason I'm asking is that I was just curious if any of the IP that will be used for this current company has been developed to any other academic institutions. And if that's the case, will you be licensing it, or does the IP sit with the company?
Right now, I have an IP with PCT. We had around 6 months deep search about that system. There is no similar IP about that system. But right now we have a PCT, and we are going to have a patent, or maybe US patent or Euro patent after this fund.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The last question I guess I would have for you is, which of the market opportunities for graphene do you attack first, and why?
Based on my conversion, 2 is the first is lithium-ion batteries, because I have some experience about using graphene in this area. And the second should be the concrete. And right now in the UK, we have some company named National Engineering Group. They use a graphene in the concrete.
How exactly are they using graphene in concrete? What's the kind of use case or purpose?
When we use a graphene in the concrete, around 1 kilogram graphene in 10,000 kilogram concrete is the level something. And is at the value of around 5% add to the value of the concrete, but it increased 30% performance of the load strength of the concrete. This 30% load, it means we need a 30% decrease in the volume. We can do that. And this effect is 30% CO2 reduction.
Okay, so it's like generally using steel as a rebar in concrete.
Yeah.
It's some similar replacement.
Yeah,